Welcome back, B's and G's, to the channel, where today I'll be showing you my first place Mastemon deck profile that I used to win at NCG's Northern Card Gaming's Extravaganza event. So yeah, let's just get into the deck profile. We'll start off with the eggs. The 4 eggs, which I single-handedly think is the best eggs in the deck. The 4 of Tsunomons. Again, whenever you trash a card in your hand, you draw one. It's always a +1. I built this deck because I don't want my stacks to be getting deleted and so on and so forth. I'm trying to keep my stacks on board so I can resolve this multiple times. And if I have multiples, I'll be drawing either twice or 3 times every single turn for just trashing one card in my hand, which is a plus, again, 4 or 5. Sometimes in certain scenarios, it's been a +10. Funny enough. Paired up with the 1 of Nyaromon. This paired up with at least one of these. Again, when you attack and you have a yellow Digimon on the field, you draw 1, and if you do, you trash 1 card in your hand, which then procs this. So you drew 1 off this, you trashed 1, and then because you trashed 1, you draw 1 off this, which is a +2 in my eyes. So that's my egg lineup. Now you can run it as a, let's say 2 Nyaros and 3 Sunos. I haven't tested it yet, but what I feel personally is the 4 Tsunomons and then the 1 of Nyaromon. Next up, we have our rookies. I run a total of 8 rookies. We have our Floodgates, the 2 Psyches, and the 2 Gazis, and that's it for our Floodgates. Psychemon, players can't reduce play costs. Gazi can't gain memory. Then next up, we have our 2 Candlemons, and the card everyone seems to have forgotten out, the 2 Salamons. 2 Candlemons is because we have a lot of purple cards in this deck, so whenever we play another purple Digimon, we gain 1 memory. So when we hard play a Gazi or Psyche, depending on if we have 1 or 2 out on the field in a stack, these become a 2 cost or even a 1 cost, which is absolutely amazing. And then Salamon, it's a rookie. It lets us DNA at the end of the turn if we don't see one of our core pieces in the deck. What you can do is you can cut Candlemon out and bump the Psychemon and the Gazimons to 3/3. If that's more of your liking, if you're seeing a lot of D-Reapers or a lot of card decks that gain memory like Alphamon, Metal Guru, and so on and so forth. But this is what I like. I will of course be tuning this for BT10, but yeah, that's all for our rookies. Next up, for our champions, we have the 1 of Rush Gatomon. It does come up a lot to just steal games and so on and so forth. Again, it's got Rush. And not only that, but it also has retaliation in terms of its inheritable effect. It does come up against matchups like Black or Grey, where they can easily swing into your stack of Digimon, of unsuspended Digimon, and so on and so forth. So the 1 of Rush Gatomon is nice. The 2 Meikun Mon, simply because it is a security Digimon, it gets played out for free in security, and then on deletion, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, you gain 2 memory. Always nice, always threatening to your opponents. Well, not threatening, but your opponents are usually unaware of the memory gain and so on and so forth, which makes this card just dumb. And of course, the playmaker of the deck, we have our 4 Gatomons. On play, we all know what it does. Search top 3, add purple and yellow. Bottom deck the rest. Then if this Digimon will Digivolve into a Digimon with either Angel or Archangel, reduce the distribution cost by 2, allowing us to go into our plays. And then of course, end of turn DNA, go into our boss monster, which is Mastemon. And that is it for our champion lineup. Now, of course, with a lot of lists, most people are only running the 4 Gatomons, which I can understand, but I personally don't like it, simply because and sometimes when you do brick, you don't want to be high rolling cards, so you draw into Gatomon. Hence why I'm also playing the 2 Salamon, to allow me to do that end of turn DNA play to continue doing what the deck is supposed to do. So that's it for the champions. Next up, we have our ultimates. We run the 2 of Magna Angi's. On play for 7, you heal 1. Great card. I love recycling this card. It's really nice and dumb and stupid in my opinion. And then we have the Angiwomon from the Mastemon structure deck. On play, you give something -2 security attack, and then it's inheritable when you have another purple Digimon, which is pretty much nearly more than half the deck. You gain security attack +1. again doing 2 checks. So that's it for our yellow count for our ultimates. Next up we have the one-off structure Lady Devi, simply because the able to choosing to trash, sometimes your hand is just too good where you don't want to trash anything. So having the option to trash something, and then if you are missing your pieces, look at the top 3, add 1 purple and 1 yellow angel, archangel, or fallen angel to your hand, which is amazing. You can, if you hit into 2 Mastemons, you can add both, because one is counted as purple and the other is counted as yellow, regardless of the type. So that's absolutely amazing. And then not only that, but the inheritable of all your yellow Digimon gain retaliation during your turn does come up. If your opponent has a lot of blockers and so on and so forth on their side of the field, this helps. This in a stack does help clear those blockers, because things like your Salamon, your Candlemons, your Black Gato, your Maycoons, your Gatomons, the Anjumon, the Magnas, you're able to swing for either chip damage, and if your opponent decides to block, then bye-bye to that Digimon that they chose to block with, while you have this in a stack. Next up, we have, of course, well-known 3 Lady Devis to draw 2, trash 2. So you Digivolve this on top of a, not black Gatomon, but on top of this Gatomon. You Digivolve on top of this for 1. You draw off the 1 off the Digivolution, you use its effect to draw 2, so now you've drawn 3 cards, and then you trash 2 cards in your hand. And then not only that, but if you have Sunamon in the stack or Sunamon out on the field, Sunamon, because you trashed a card in your hand, Sunamon then activates once per turn to allow you to draw another card. So now you've drawn a total of 4 cards for a Digivolution cost of 1, which is dumb. It's just dumb. Helps see more of your cards, helps you go into more of your plays, which is really, really nice. Next up, we have a one-of Neo Devimon. This card is very, very toxic. I have to give thanks to my friend Bulbay. Her channel is down in the description below. Seen it in her profile, and I was like, I've never seen this card before. Looked it up, I was like, that's really damn toxic. Stops decks like Alphamon from playing their tamers and so on and so forth. They now have to play around this, because again, they don't want to give you said memory while they set up. Stops decks in BT10, like the Crossheart deck, during your opponent's turn. If when your opponent would play a tamer, you gain 3 memory. That's broken. And then anytime during your opponent's turn, not once per turn, when your opponent's tamers become suspended, you gain 1 memory. So decks that like to run Cool Boys, aka Metal Guru, or anything like that, or Alphamon, they tap their 2 or 3 Cool Boys, they gain 3 memory, and they draw 3 cards. You're just like, nah, sorry. Take that memory gauge and slide it right back down to where it was before. You may draw a card, I'll allow you to draw cards, but I won't allow you to gain the memory. So it's a really, really dumb toxic card, really, really nice. Then we have our 2 Make Crackmon Vicious Mode. Great card. It's just literally our bridge between our purple and yellows. If we see all our purples and no yellows, helps us to go into our DNA, and vice versa. If you see all our yellows and no purples, still helps us to go into our DNA. On play or when digivolving for 4, unfortunately, we can trash either purple or yellow. Depending on what we trash, we gain effects. Purple, pop a level 3. Yellow, we give something minus 3k DP, which is nice. And then because we trash the card, it then once again procs our eggs, which is great for allowing us to draw more cards and giving us more board control. Has the same on deletion effect as Maycoon. When this Digimon would have, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, on deletion you gain 2 memory. So Maycoon on stack on top of this, stack on top of either any of our megas, we're gaining 4 memory if that mega would ever be deleted, which again keeps it our turn, extends our plays, and lets us do more things. We were running the one-off Lucy Chaos mode. Again, what you can do is, if you're not seeing a lot of tamers in your locals and so on and so forth, you can bump Lucy to 2. So take out like a Neo Devi, or like maybe a Candom. I wouldn't say a rookie. You need the 8 rookies. You need a minimum of 8 rookies to play in Mastemon. Anything lower than that, then you need to check yourself in a psych hospital, in my opinion. But you can run 2 Lucys. I only run the 1. As we know, on play, gets played out, we pop a level 6 or lower Digimon, or one of our opponent's tamers. It's a 12k beat stick, so next time we can start swinging with it, and then if it ever gets deleted, we'll just bring it out. It's literally great recovery alongside the Magna Angies. Those 3 cards are the only 3 cards I usually choose to recur, in this deck, alongside the Neo Devis, depending on if I'm going against a tamer heavy deck. Next up for our megas, I should say, we have the one-off of Animon Fall Down mode. Excuse me, God. Damn. Sorry, excuse me. So we have the one of Alphamon fall down mode, where when devolving, if it has a purple source, you delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower. If it has a yellow source, you heal +1. So a great little combo I like to do is if I'm, for some reason, bricking really hard and I'm not seeing a purple, but I have this in hand, I bring out Gatomon, Digivolve into Angie for 1, Digivolve into this, draw off the Angie, draw off the Alphamon fall down, pop a level 4 or lower on their side of the field because Gatomon counts as a purple, and then because Gatomon and Angelmon counts as yellow, pop a heal 1, and then next turn I can swing for 2 security checks. And then if fall down mode would ever be deleted, you're allowed to, its on deletion effect allows you to play a level 4 or lower purple or yellow Digimon from your trash out onto the field. So Faldomon gets deleted, you're like, sure, no worries, you bring back the Gatomon, you continue searching for more of your pieces. Next up, the MVP, or the playmaker, or not playmaker, but the boss monster of the deck, we have our 4 Mastemons. We're running the 4 Mastemons because, again, this is a Mastemon deck. This is what you want to see. This is what's going to do all your work. This is what's going to control your opponent. This is what your opponent has to play around or play through to pretty much beat you in this deck. So when Digivolving, you place any yellow or purple Digimon from your trash on top of your security stack, then shuffle your security stack, and then when this Digimon is DNA'd from either 1 level 5 and 1 level 5 yellow Digimon and 1 level 5 purple Digimon, you do the same effect as when it's Digivolving. Place a purple or yellow Digimon into your security stack. You may look at your security stack and then play out 1 level 5 or lower Digimon from your security stack onto your side of the field. All turns effect, absolutely amazing. When something is played via an effect on your side of the field, either on your opponent's turn or your turn, you're able to pop, you choose that level and pop that level or lower on your opponent's side of the field, which is great. Controls your opponent's board, does what it's supposed to do. 4 Mastemons, you need 4. If you're playing a Mastemon deck, you need 4. Simple as. Next up, we're playing Omni, 2 Omni Sword Defeats. A lot of people have cut this card out and started playing Death X's, and I say to you, check yourself into a mental hospital, the closest one, ASAP. I don't understand why you would do that. Of course, Death X is a good card for a format if that's going wide, but in BT9, format was not going wide, it was going big and tall. This gets hit in security, it plays itself out, it's a free 13k body. Then it's free 13k body that you can swing with. Then not only that, but if this card would ever be deleted, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon, so you just pop your opponent's biggest stack or whatnot. Not only that, but for 3, you're able to Digivolve Omnimon's Sword Defeat on top of either Mastemon or Fall Down mode to pop one of their tamers, and then when that Digimon would be deleted, well, of course, Omnimon's Sword Defeat would be deleted. You delete one of your opponent's Digimons back. It's great. It's amazing. And then, of course, with Mastemon in the field, Omnimon gets hit in security. It gets played out. Mastemon's alternate effect, where because a Digimon was played on your side of the field, Omnimon counts as a level 7. You're now able to pop any level 7 in the game or lower because of just that. It's great. Death X doesn't allow you to do that. Sword Defeat does. So 2 Sword Defeats, and that is it for our Digimon in the deck. Next up, for our option cards, we are running, of course, the 4 Flame Hell Sights. Great option card for 6. You minus something 6k, you play something else out with 6k, hence why we're running the one of Lady Devi, just in case you're missing a purple, or they may Crackmon Vicious mode to go into your Mastemon play, your Angelmons to control your opponent if they're threatening lethal to give something -2 security attack, or if you're healthy and fine, or you're low in health, Magna Angemon just to simply recover and heal 1. Great card, really dumb option card. I cannot see it getting hit ever. Next up, we have our 4 of Chaos D grade. Now, you can cut this down to 3 to play bump up Lucimon Chaos mode to 2. Pretty much the best option, another great option card, honestly. You activate it from hand. You can place one of your opponent's Digimon on top or bottom of the security stack, usually the bottom, and then you force your opponent to trash the top card of the security stack. Great. When it gets a hit in security, you place one of your opponent's, this gets hit in security, you place one of your opponent's Digimon either at the top or bottom of the security stack, and then all the Digimon, the Digilutions of that Digimon get trashed. Great option card. So 4 Flame Hell Sights, 4 Chaos D grades. We then play our 2 purple mem boosts, simply because half the deck is purple, bar our Angelomons and our 4 rookies. So you're searching at everything, and then of course Mastemon with memory, that's pretty much the scariest thing anyone can come across. Delay, gain 2 memory, back. Next up, Tamers. We're running our 3 Karikamias. You need to see having a memory tamer out on field, you're just, yeah, it's just more and more pressure every single turn, because you're getting set to 3, you have 3 memory to play with, 4 memory to play with if you include 0, 6 memory to play with if your opponent has a memory tamer, which they won't have for long, because again, you will either pop up with Lucimon Chaos mode, or you just don't care at that point, because again, Mastemon does what Mastemon wants to do. And then lastly, we have our 2 Makos, which on play allows us to trash the top 3, to reveal the top 3 cards of our deck, to add 1 purple or yellow Digimon, which is a nice little searcher, trash the rest, which allows us to fill our trash. And then of course, whenever a 2-color Digimon will be played, during all turns, we're allowed to spend her to gain a memory back. So we hard play these 2 early game, and then we drop Gato for 3, or the Maykum gets hit from security, it gets played out. We tap this, it becomes a Hammer Spark, then pretty much for your opponent swinging, and you gain the body on board. They hint at Flame Hell, you bring back either Make Crackmon while you have Mastemon on the field, or something else like a 2-color Digimon. You tap these 2 again. It's just memory central. This package here, I would not change this ratio right here in this deck. But yeah, pretty much that's it for the deck profile. Hopefully soon enough I'll be able to show you what Mastemon does. Like I said, Mastemon does what Mastemon wants in a few of some friendly matches with some friends of mine, and so on and so forth. And yeah, as always, do you wish to continue?